We are going to talk about constants, global variables, and preprocessor directives and enumerations. There are some things constant in your program. Like in if you have a math, you have a value of pi or things like that. So there are three different ways of doing that. One is the define preprocessor directive. It goes like this: $define. You define it in your implementation file right after the import statements, and then you give it a name. Usually the convention is to have it in uppercase, each word separated by an underscore, and then you give it a value. So MPI1 is a constant. You defined it. In order to use it, you do like this. Int counter is equal to MPI1. So when the line hits 25, the value of counter will be what's in m underscore pi1, which is 3. So let's see and confirm that that is the case. Here we go. Here we are. We are at line number 25. At this point, counter is 0. I'm going to step over it. You see the counter is 3 now. And why? Because the value of m underscore pi1 is defined as 3. So there's one way of doing that. So let me say that this is not what Objective-C programmers usually do. It's not very popular with them. They use global variables. In order to define a global variable, you go to the header file and you type in these commands: extern, and then the data type. In this case it's int. It could be a string or float, etc. Then constant keyword, and then the name of it, m underscore pi2. I have come up with it. Then in the implementation file, you again say int const data type, that you are going to define what it is, constant keyword, then you'll use the name of it, m underscore pi2, and give it a value 4. So now we have a constant m underscore pi2 whose value is 4. So I'm going to change this program right here and run this program. I'm line number 25, counter is 0. M underscore pi2 is set to 4. Now if you rewind, you'll see that when we were using the define, we did not see it in the debugger. So that's why Objective-C programmers don't like the define keyword. They rather use global variables. They are easy to work with in a debugger, and there are some other performance advantages as well. So you can see it. M underscore pi2 is 4, counter is 0. If I step over this line, you see counter is now 4. So global variables are the preferred way of using constants. Now let's look at the third item. The preferred way of using an enum is using the typedef keyword. So you go typedef enum, and you have left brace and a right brace, and within it you define your enumerations. Enumeration is usually 2 or 3 things that somehow are grouped together and have a certain value, and it would be to make it easy for you or your users of your program, you give it some name. For example, and right here you give it a name, speed. So speed, this is the enumeration called speed. I'm designing a car is going to have go slow, medium, or fast. When it's going slow, its value will be 1. Medium speed will be 2. Let's say, for example. So instead of saying speed 1, 2, 3, I don't remember what it is, which one is slow. So it helps in using it. You will see in a second how we'll use it. But basically, slow is 1, medium is 2, fast is 3, and it could be 10, 20, 30, or something else. Now if you were to omit equal to, there will be some default values. I think it's either 0, the second one will be 1 or 2. But I would suggest, as a good practice, always give it a name. Don't go by default, so it's easy to comprehend for you and other people. So always give it a value. Slow is equal to some value. In my case, it's 1. Medium is 2, fast is 3, and its name is speed, and then there's a semicolon. That's how you define an enumeration. It could be height, type def enum height, short, medium, tall. Short will be 5 feet 6 inch or something like that. Now, in order to use it, I'm gonna go over into my viewcontroller.m file. Actually, go back to customer.m, and I can define a method, instance method, void data type. Its name is set speed. It takes in enumeration type speed that we have just defined up there, and the parameter name is my speed. Then we implement it right here, void set speed, speed, my speed. So we have a method that takes in a parameter of speed type. In the viewcontroller.app, I'm going to call that method on my customer set speed medium. So when you're using it, one, I don't remember, one was slow or fast. What was slow? Was it slow or medium? So you could, I can say slow. And as I type, you see speed. It's going to help me. IntelliSense is going to help me. And I would know that I want to set speed to slow, and the slow will, it'll look it up in the enumeration and see if it was 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it was. So instead of typing 1, you type slow or medium. And if I was to type speed dot, that doesn't work. So we can cancel that idea. I was hoping it'll pop up, speed dot, slow, medium, and fast. You can always look it up. If I highlight it, right click it, jump to definition, it'll take me over and find, see right here, open it up, and I can see it, even if it's defined in Cocoa Touch, you can always right click this is what I did. I was in there, I double clicked it to highlight it, right click, jump to definition, and it jumped here. I can see, slow, medium, fast. So it definitely helps. So that's your enumeration types, and enumeration types are also constants, so they all fall under constants. So use the external variable, global variables defined by extern or enumerations. Very nice, very professional way of doing things instead of hard coding, numbers. If I was to do something like this, for example, if I was to say 1 right there, this problem in program is called magic number. So if you had a professional, your boss, code review written by you, he'll say, okay, you are using the magic number technique. Don't use the magic numbers, and that's what it means. You'll be using constants and enumerations instead of magic numbers, and you'll be known as a professional programmer.